everybody is born with a little something extra, and sometimes they just have to find it. A little something extra is that superpower that every single one of us has inside that motivates us and drives our passion and makes us do the things that we do.
We're all on the same team. Let's think about how we can make that team as inclusive as we can.
For those of you listening to our podcast right now, you can also check out our video podcast at alittlesomethingextrapodcast.org.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another segment of A Little Something Extra with me, Nancy Gianni, and who else?
The GiGi of this Playhouse.
Woo! The GiGi of GiGi's Pass. And who's that sitting next to you?
Franco.
Big
Franco.
brother Franco.
Representing.
Franco in the house. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Today we have the most amazing guest. Like, I'm so excited about this one.
So excited.
So excited. Like, I couldn't even sleep last night. Like, this is big.
It's us.
Oh, that's right. It's us.
It's us.
Woo! It's us. It's going to be host talk with Nancy, GiGi, and Franco.
Yes, which I think is huge. I
Yeah.
think there's so many different things that we're up to and that GiGi's Playhouse is doing and that's happening in the Down syndrome community, disability community, really just the world in general. And when we have our guests, it's amazing. But at the same time, we're focused on being able to hear about what they're doing. And, you know, you could be able to get some perspectives on some of these different things that are happening. But you don't really get to have a candid, open conversation. It's when you're doing it through the screen.
About
too,
our
it's a
why
lot. Yeah,
and why we do what we do.
exactly.
We're always taking everybody else's why and really spreading it out there and getting it out there. But we've also built this platform because we want change and we want to make that change. And we're making so many changes. We're working hard every day to make those changes. You know, we were just at our Twin Cities location yesterday, right, Gigi? She's still wearing Jake Berger's jersey. Woke up this morning still wearing it. We took the 6-hour drive to head over there for a 3-hour event and then drove 6 more hours home, right?
Yeah.
Should we talk about-
I'm still tired for that. So,
You're still tired for that?
yes.
Still a little
Interesting,
tired.
because I was driving and you slept the whole time. So
I know.
very interesting that she's still tired.
Leaving at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Yes.
driving 6 hours to Minnesota.
That's why.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Well, then
Doing the
let's
makeup
talk.
in the back seat.
I know.
That was
Let's
funny.
let's
Yeah.
take this time to talk a little bit about that. Then I know
Yeah.
we have a couple different host talks that we want to do today.
Yeah.
But for the sake of being on subject, let's talk about why you guys were in Minnesota.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's some pretty.
who do
exciting stuff.
we were doing we're part of
Here,
the
Geej,
Berger family.
stand up and show the back
Yeah,
of your
who's
jersey.
on the back of your jersey?
Show it to the camera.
Woo!
Want to stand up?
So this is Jake Berger's jersey. Gigi's wearing Jake, representing.
Friend of the
Woo!
friend
There
of the pod.
it is. There it is.
Yep.
Representing her buddy Jake.
Friend of the
Her
podcast.
BFF,
Yes,
yeah.
the Berger family.
Yeah.
So Berger family, if you didn't watch the episode that we had them on back in November.
It's amazing.
Um,
Amazing.
Yeah, Ashley, our producer, and the rest of the marketing team saw that there was this story that came out of an MLB player that it was in People magazine and a couple other things too, that there was an MLB player that was having a child with Down syndrome, and he was going to be the first player in the MLB to be having a child with Down syndrome, which is really shocking to me considering
Right?
how many players. I mean, there's like 50 something players per team and there's 32 teams. So statistically there should be multiple, but guess not. So anyway,
And
so
the average age to have a child with Down syndrome is 27.
falling right
and
in that
that's
range.
Right in that range.
Exactly
It
what it
is
is.
really
Jake's
interesting.
29.
Well, there's also a lot of terminations. We have.
That's true.
Not
So
that
you
I'm
gotta
saying
think
that
about
that's
that,
them.
too.
I'm just saying a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure that that's the case too. So anyway, so we have them on the podcast because Jake had that amazing quote when Poppy was diagnosed prenatally. He said, "Okay, we're sorry to tell you your daughter has Down syndrome," and he's like, "Okay, and so like."
What do you mean?
What's
What
the
are you sorry
problem?
about?
Like,
Yeah.
What's the issue there?
Yeah.
And that was just a big turning point for them in realizing like they're gonna really just embrace this diagnosis and go out and advocate for her.
Yeah.
what
And
they believe
ask
in.
MLB to step up and advocate for her.
Yeah.
So they put on this, how many Playhouse tour? It was like a
Well,
20.
it was interesting too because originally when we first interviewed him, he was still with the Miami Marlins.
Yeah.
So we thought this whole thing was going to be happening through Miami, and then like a week or so later, he got traded to the Rangers, which we didn't even realize turned into the best thing ever because the Rangers
what a
have
gift
been
from God for him.
incredible.
Yeah, the Rangers have stepped up for Poppy, for Down syndrome, for Gigi's Playhouse.
Mhm.
I mean, so they were the ones who put together this tour of 15 15. I don't even remember how many teams it was, but
12, yeah.
12.
So then the whole concept is that the Burger family, and they launched their foundation this year. They wanted to help in promoting it, but after we had them on the podcast, they absolutely fell in love with Gigi and Gigi's Playhouse and you and us. So like they were like, we want to be able to, since there's
first
Gigi's,
open a Playhouse in Dallas. That was one of their big
that was one of the big
priorities.
things, is that they wanted to be able to bring
Which is huge.
Gigi's
We
location
don't
where
have
they're
one
at.
there.
But in
Yeah.
order to be able to better see what Gigi's Playhouses look like across the country, they were like, well, if there's so many different Gigi's Playhouses in these major markets, there's also a lot of MLB teams in these markets.
Yep.
So how about when we go and play in these cities, we'll also then go to a Gigi's Playhouse location. And it turned into this amazing thing that now they're bringing in players from the team. They're connecting with the opposing teams from the markets that they're going to, and they're bringing them into the Playhouses as well.
And their franchises. I mean, they're bringing, yesterday at Twin Cities, we had the general manager's wife and his family there. Like, it's just great that they're just bringing, just asking people, just meet these guys. That's all we need to do is make the introduction, because once you meet them, you will become an advocate for them, for individuals with Down syndrome.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of getting MLB, NBA, NFL, all of these guys to just get in our court. Just come hang out, get to know them. You will want to be their voice. And there's reasons why we need these big voices. There's a lot of bad things happening to individuals with disabilities, individuals with Down syndrome specifically. And we want to make sure that we have some pretty big advocates for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like, what better people to use than celebrities and athletes that have the platforms to be able to go out and advocate, but then also what a great opportunity for them to actually be able to learn more about who they're advocating for, and not just utilizing their platform to put it out there, but actually having some emotional connection to it as well.
Totally.
And I think that everyone that's gotten involved with it so far has been so moved. I mean,
I remember Corey Seager coming in. They're all just starting to have babies. All of these guys
they're
are
young
just
guys.
starting.
They're all like my age, which is so crazy to think. But
yes,
yeah,
please make your mother a grandma. It's all I ask. It's only the one thing I've asked you.
Be patient.
Trying
Get
so
there
hard.
someday. I got engaged. I mean, what else do you want from me? I'm trying to
that the start,
take
Gigi?
the right steps forward to make this
Fine.
happen.
All right, fine. Yeah, but it's been an amazing campaign.
So yeah, it is important for us to be able to have these athletes going out there and being able to advocate, because we can only do so much with the platforms that we have. We can be able to grow in different ways through social media and things like that. But we also, there you go.
Thank God for sports.
Right? So yeah, we need to actually be able to, we need people to come in and help and utilizing that platform to be able to help us grow.
I think a big thing would be to let's help grow Jake's platform. I did not realize that to get into the All-Star game was a fan vote.
Yeah,
A
any
fan
All-Star
vote.
game.
So we
yeah.
need people to vote for Jake Berger. Jake is giving a voice to a population of people who desperately need it. And if we could do that by getting him into the All-Stars, let's vote.
Yeah.
Everybody get
You
out
just
there.
go to MLB All-Star Vote on Google, and it'll be the first thing to pop
Jake
up.
Berger, Texas Rangers. I mean, I had no idea. I am not a big baseball person. I love baseball, but just not a big baseball person. I did not know that that's how the All-Stars worked.
That's how All-Star works for it's a popularity contest, but
I did
typically
not
the
know
most
that.
popular athletes are going to be the ones that are the best in their sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, most of the time it's always the best ones in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, Jake is definitely slugging the ball right now.
He
so
is.
to be able to get him in there, and also being able to then be able to use that to be able to help
platform for his voice.
his
Yeah.
platform, exactly. Being able to get that 21 jersey out there would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's just so important, and I think that even also being able to be the families, like when we go to these locations and seeing these baseball players going to these GGs, like when we did the Chicago one a couple weeks ago, all the families that were there so excited to see Jake, like they're looking up to him. So it's like these siblings that are also looking up to this all-star that's advocating for his daughter. Like, what does
They're
that then
advocating
instill
for
in
their sibling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what does that instill into them
Yep.
that's going to stick with them going into the future? Like,
Forever.
if this baseball player, this celebrity, thinks that this is cool, that I should be advocating for my daughter, that I should be advocating for this community, this is something that I should be doing as well. So it's just I think it's going to have this ripple effect.
Everything to the siblings. Do you remember when Gigi sang the national anthem at the Cubs game?
Do you remember that, Cheech?
One of the times?
Right.
Yeah. The first thing that happened as soon as she got the field, a little sibling, 4-year-old, ran up to him with his ball and asked Gigi for her autograph.
Mm-hmm.
because he had a little sister with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
It meant everything that somebody was representing that population. And we have to keep leveling them up like that. We have to keep doing that. And that's what Jake's doing. Look at Tampa Bay. What are they called? The Tampa Bay Reds?
The Rays.
Rays.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Rays.
You'll figure it out one day.
They not only went to the Playhouse with their players, they hung out with our families and they gave them a check.
Yeah.
On top of it.
A lot of people show out that day too.
Yeah.
Which was great.
It was awesome.
I mean, the
that
whole
was
Tampa Bay area, everything that they've been doing for that Playhouse has been amazing. The Bucks have been huge with them, and then same with the Rays. And I know they've been doing stuff with the Lightning too.
amazing.
So like, they
And
have
we
a lot
need
of
that.
great stuff going on.
We need the way that these, God gives us our platforms for a reason. It's not to, make more money for ourselves. It's not to make ourselves heads grow. It's to help others and give back to others. That's why, thank God they've been given these opportunities and just helping them, giving them a place to show them where they can spread some love and acceptance and give a voice to a population of people that need it. Like sometimes these guys get stuck in their own little world, and until they go somewhere else and go, whoa, I didn't realize that. Like God gave me these muscles that
Yeah.
allow me to hit this ball.
Very eye-opening.
These guys, the only difference is, they have low muscle tone.
Mhm.
They have to teach their bodies to do what comes naturally to most of us, and that come naturally to this guy who could hit the ball and can throw the ball and do all those things.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when they go there, I think they get an appreciation and they get to see them and understand that it's not that they can't do these things or they don't want to do these things. Their body works different.
Yeah.
And they have to work a lot harder to do the things that come naturally to all of us. So I think that
That's the whole idea. I mean, that's
yeah.
what we always say when it comes to being able to get when exposure breeds acceptance.
Totally.
It's because you finally are able to put yourself in their shoes and being able to understand, what are some of these things that they are affected by.
Yeah.
And then you could really be able to gain an appreciation for who people are and not just see the differences, but also being able to see how they're breaking down those barriers and exceeding past them and realize how strong people are.
Totally.
So yeah, it's been awesome, and I really am excited for the rest of it to move forward. I know the next Playhouse visit they're going to be doing is when they're playing the Angels on July 8th in Orange County.
Orange County.
So
Woo!
that's one that we're
We're
probably be
going
going
to
out
Orange County,
to.
aren't we?
There's
Yeah.
a lot of different
Yep.
things happening out in Orange County that we
I
definitely want to attend to. So
Love Gigi's Orange County. And then I don't think Simi Valley, our Simi Valley location is pretty close.
I mean, Los Angeles is massive. So
Massive.
to be able
And
to
we've
get to
got
see me is
people want to
probably an hour
open
and
a
half
Playhouse
away,
in
but yeah.
LA. So to be able to meet with them,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be an amazing trip. And,
Yeah.
and
it'll
again,
be fun.
happening because, MLB, Jake Berger, the Berger Family Foundation is bringing this to the forefront. And we're so
Exactly.
grateful for every second of it.
Yeah, so when we look at a schedule, it'll be that one July 8th. We have Sacramento, and because the Athletics, oddly enough, are in a transitional period where they're no longer playing in Oakland. They're moving to Vegas, but in this like weird interim year, they're playing in Sacramento. So the Sacramento Playhouse is going to be able to have them there.
You what?
We have a Playhouse too in Vegas too.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so once they're there, then they're going to be able to go to the Vegas Playhouse instead.
That's going
And
to be
then
awesome.
Phoenix is after that in September.
So cool.
And then
Utah.
I believe Cleveland is going to be one of the last ones. And then next year they're going to continue to keep doing it.
Cleveland, Believeland.
Yep.
We love
Gigi.
Gigi's Cleveland.
She believed.
And then
Right.
when
What do
we
you-
were, oh,
I was going to ask
She
Gigi,
was-
what's Gigi's thoughts on this whole MLB tour and being able to meet Jake Berger and all these baseball players?
and what about it?
Use your mic?
And Poppy?
And Poppy too.
Well, and who are you to Poppy?
I'm her aunt.
She's
Your-
Aunt Gigi.
Your
now.
Auntie Gigi?
Yep. In fact, yesterday Poppy got one of the very first copies of
The
Gigi's
Moon.
Journey, the Harry Moon book. And what did you write in there?
I forgot that. I'm glad to be your aunt.
I'm glad to be your
I'm
aunt.
glad to be your aunt.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
very, very
You're
sweet.
going to teach her great things in life, aren't you? Poor Poppy's only 7 months old, and already Aunt Gigi's in there
Yep.
trying to corrupt her.
Yes.
Do boyfriend talk. Yeah, 7 months old. We didn't talk about that earlier, but that's it. Poppy's just 7 months old now.
Well, the
And has
crazy thing
already
too is that
been-
Ashlyn's been going and doing all these different Playhouse visits. Poppy had open heart surgery back in
When she was 4 months old.
February.
5 months old?
Yeah. So there, and that's definitely been something that's kind of made it harder for them to be able to do the tour because there's obviously going to be complications that come with an open heart surgery. It's a pretty major surgery.
Right.
But they've just been so amazing in
Oh
being
my
able
gosh.
to pull this together
Yeah.
and being able to travel, and then also having a 2-year-old son,
Yeah.
being
Brooks
able to
is awesome.
handle him, and he's
Yeah.
amazing. So the fact that they're able to, that they've been balancing this all out and wanting to go out, I mean, they're such an amazing family.
Building GiGi's Playhouse, Dallas, doing the
Going
Burger Family
to
Foundation
all of-
tour, MLB Tour,
and having their own foundation, and then also
Open heart
touring
surgery,
the country and
2
doing all
kids
that.
under 2 years old. I mean, like a lot.
It's a
And-
pretty impressive,
Yeah.
pretty impressive couple.
Yeah, they really
You gotta
are.
give them that. That family's doing some amazing things.
They really are. I
Yeah,
know.
they're destined
Blessed to
for
know
it.
them. Blessed that that we've had this opportunity to get to know them, and the fact that they are just giving such a stage for Down syndrome and the positive, what we need to be spreading about Down syndrome.
Yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely.
Amazing.
Well, speaking of spreading Down syndrome,
Ooh, spreading Down
Um,
syndrome.
I
Are you
think-
giving Down syndrome to people?
it's contagious.
It's contagious.
So G.
Actually, do you remember that, Franco?
No, I
Our
don't.
very first slogan for GiGi's Playhouse, it was, "Loving a child with Down syndrome is contagious. Help us spread the love." And the picture is of you. You were 6, and you were almost 6,
1.
and she was not
Not
even
even
1.
one.
Yeah, and you were kissing her on the cheek. Remember that?
Hmm.
Remember those days, Franco Johnny?
I remember.
Vaguely.
I remember.
yeah.
With my sister.
Where's my sister? You remember Franco when Franco was
Are
in
you
speech
calling out my
therapy?
wodoism?
Yes.
It's terrible. I did years of speech therapy in order to
Where's
beat
my
that with
sister?
Myth Kathewa.
That was your
So-
favorite part, wasn't it? She loved being your sister.
I hated hearing myself on camera. And now, 20 years later,
Oh my
I'm doing a podcast.
Right, you have no
So,
choice.
I mean, think about how far 8-year-old Franco has
Yeah.
come
Yes.
in being able to figure out his diction and his speech pathology.
See, he had to do speech therapy too.
Mhm.
Remember
It
that?
wasn't
He
just
was
for people with
crying.
Down syndrome.
And
I had
yep.
to do it too.
And he-
S's and R's are very hard.
Very hard. And he
I
had to
was
do a
And he was
Yep.
crying.
and he was crying. And remember when he made a video for you?
Yes.
It was a sibling video for GiGi's Playhouse, and he was just probably 7, 8 years old. And he was on the video and he was talking on there, and he was like, when he heard it back and he saw the video, he was like, "What's wrong with these video? Why do I sound like that?"
Yeah, I never heard myself on camera before.
He never knew he couldn't say his R's or his S's. So
Yeah,
it was-
definitely
you
took
helped
that
him
speech.
so Gigi, you've helped him so much. See,
You did.
all because
Definitely
of
took that speech therapy home with me.
being contagious.
We were doing speech therapy together.
Yes, you
Look how far we've come. Now we're doing a podcast together.
were. So true.
Miss Carcella would be
That's
so proud.
funny. She would be so proud. So yes, so when we were there yesterday in Twin Cities, we had the brand new Harry Moon GiGi's Journey book,
Yep.
right?
Show it to everyone, Gigi.
Woo! Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. And the reason it took so long is this little gold. What is that? The world? The globe?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
That was a really big piece. The metallic pieces in the book and the different
That's
things.
why it took
Yeah.
3 extra months to get these printed. So the
Yes.
book was supposed
Yeah.
to release on World Down Syndrome Day.
Yeah.
We promoted. We did all the pre-sale stuff leading up to World Down Syndrome Day, but we didn't actually get our copies in-house till June. So we have them in stock now. But let's talk a little bit about Gigi's journey and the journey into making Gigi's journey. I think that would be, I think it's, because it's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
That's for sure.
I have a new book. It's called It Is a Journey. The main character has Down syndrome just like me.
Woo!
I'm the inspiration for the story. It's part of the awesome 21 book Human series. So the first character with Down syndrome has even been in the Harry Moon series. But the book isn't about Down syndrome. It's about kindness, bravery, adventure, and the story, anger, and magical adventure with Harry, and a funny creature named Fritz.
Woo!
And there's even Judas Palace in the town of the Hollow.
Mhm.
The book is out now, and you can get it at harrymoon.org. It's a fun story that helps kids learn about kindness, bravery, and accepting everyone just by reading.
Wow, that's very true. That's how you learn about it. It's just by reading the book.
So the whole idea for Harry Moon came about a year ago, a little longer than a year ago, because Harry Moon is a children's book series. So it's falls for the age of about 7 years old to like 13, 14 years old, like
Yeah, like
early elementary
elementary,
reader, doing chapter books because, of course, it is a chapter book. And it's set in its own universe, in the Harry Moon universe. So the main character is Harry Moon. And he has his sister Honey and all of his friends that live in the town of Sleepy Hollow. And really, it's like a
And
mystery.
Harry has magic powers.
He does have
too.
magic powers. It's like a mystery, thriller,
It's so
adventure
good.
type of
It's so
series, and every book introduces a new character. And these characters all have varying abilities and powers. And GiGi's journey, book number 22 in the series,
Yep.
one off from being the perfect
Oh,
number in the series.
Would have been
but
so cool.
whatever. Yeah, number 22. And GiGi's introduces the first character in the Harry Moon universe to have Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And
so cool.
it's a really, really cool way that they did it. So when we were building this book out, there was a lot of different ideas being thrown around of how it was going to work. But the coolest thing, what we ended up falling on, is the whole plot for the book is not centered around GiGi's diagnosis
At all.
at all.
Down
It's
syndrome is so
very
secondary.
It's so
It's
secondary.
friendship.
It's very much centered around friendship
Yeah.
and misunderstanding, and then being able to really understand who a person is and seeing
Yeah.
the value that they have. And that is what I absolutely love the most about it, is because when kids can then read this book, they're reading about a character with Down syndrome, but it never focuses on her Down syndrome.
At all.
So it allows kids in school to then be able to look at this and say, oh, wait, I there's a kid in my class that has Down syndrome.
Yeah, so
I could be
cool.
friends with him just like Harry's friends or like
Yes.
Honey's friends with GiGi in the book.
In this whole group.
And maybe they have a special power that I don't necessarily
Yes.
know about, so I should get to know them to be able to see what that power is.
I love it so much because GiGi comes to the school. Like, right? You come to school in the middle of the school year.
GiGi's a new kid.
New kid
on the block.
which is hard enough to do anyways. Then you're coming in with a diagnosis you wear on your face. You know, you're coming in you're the kid with Down syndrome who's coming into the classroom, fully included in this classroom, which
Yep.
I love all
Love that
about
concept
that.
too.
The introduction that happens, and then you know what? There's somebody in there who's thinking that they're being funny by kind of making comments about her. But then watching this other guy who has eyes for you, just thinks she's beautiful, who then sticks up for her. And it just happens in such a way that it doesn't
It's very organic.
yeah, it's so organic and it's
Yeah.
so real. It's so real because you always have that one kid who's going to be the mean kid, and then you have someone who's going to be, sticking up for the other kid. But then as the story goes on and she's just part of this amazing group, and that she actually ends up having a magic power that they didn't even realize. Then they go to GiGi's Playhouse and they can't
Which is in the
figure
book
out-
as well.
In the book.
They introduce
It's
GiGi's
in
Playhouse
Sleepy
to the
Hollow. So
community.
GiGi's Playhouse, Sleepy Hollow. Whoop whoop. Shout out. GiGi's Playhouse in Sleepy Hollow. And then they go there and they're like, what is this feeling? When you go there, they think it's a magical place, and they don't even realize that magic is coming from
Within themselves.
within themselves as they volunteer and do good.
Mhm.
And then they've got what's Fritz, the beast that's
Yes.
in it, and the beast
Which
that
is
gets made fun of, and then GiGi's like, I understand what that feels like. It's such a good book, but then the end is so good. Like,
No
Don't
spoilers.
spoilers.
You're not allowed to spoil.
no spoiler alert,
You
but
got to
I,
get the book if they want to read it.
I promise you,
Yeah.
I don't care if you're in elementary school or if you're reading it, if you're an adult like me that's reading it on a Saturday afternoon. It is so good.
It
and
really-
it will keep you invested, and the ending is phenomenal.
Just-
Well, the nice
just
part about the
spoilers.
book is
No
that like
spoilers.
No.
no spoilers. It really does read well for any age. Like you don't
really
really have to
does.
be a kid.
You
Like
don't have
it
to be in
definitely
elementary school.
the setting of it.
I
and the
would say read it with your
characters.
grandkids. Read it
Yeah.
out loud. Talk about it's because again, the Down syndrome is so secondary. The magic and the fun, and then like
No, the mystery behind
The
it too, because I
mystery.
think when it introduces Fritz, which Fritz is such a good character because it's also this misunderstood creature that gets introduced and everyone's afraid of it and no one really knows how to approach it. And like, it's a really good analogy for how a lot of people look at Down syndrome
exactly
and look at different disabilities and the fact that people could be afraid, they're uncomfortable, they don't necessarily know how to approach the situation. But then once you do, you then realize how amazing and how crazy it is to think that you were ever afraid of
afraid
it
of that
or
in the first place, right?
place.
This
Yeah.
amazing
So
person.
like there's like two great lessons that all connect as one, and it's such a great read.
It's so good. And that's what I hope for. Like right now, the Harry Moon series is in over 1,500 schools across the country. I would love to see it more. I know that Gigi's Journey is the chosen book for their book club at Harry Moon. So a lot of book clubs are using that summer reading as Gigi's Journey.
Yeah.
And I am telling
So we
you,
need to expand it.
like last night, Gigi gave it to Pappy and she gave her a signed copy. They could not wait to get home and read it to Brooks. So that was going to be their nighttime reading tonight with Brooks. So is the Gigi's Journey. You know, Brooks is 3 years old. He's not reading it himself, but mom and dad are going to read it to him. I think it's a great read for grandma and grandpa. You know what I mean? To be reading with the grandkids and just getting for the grandkids, getting for the nieces and nephews, because it's such a good story. It just, everything about it just reminds me of, you know, that sibling when Gigi sang the national anthem and wanted her autograph because they just saw beyond the Down syndrome and just to the amazing person she was.
Yeah.
And I think that is what I love about this. It is not about Down syndrome. It's about this amazing character who happens to have Down syndrome. And she's got these amazing powers and Gigi's Playhouse has these powers. So I'm really excited for this.
Me too.
Really, really excited. And what it can do for the Playhouses. The Playhouses can be getting this book in in the schools around them. They could be doing book signings because Sleepy Hollow is about anybody, you know, is the Gigi's Playhouse in Sleepy Hollow.
And a really cool thing about this book too is that Gigi's organization made an investment in this to get this book written and to have it be a really, really great advocacy tool for Gigi's Playhouse. But on top of it being an advocacy tool, it's also a fundraising tool for Gigi's too. So anyone that purchases this book, 70% of all of the proceeds of the book goes back to Gigi's Playhouse. And if you buy it from a Gigi's Playhouse across the country, that 70%
Playhouse
goes to support that Playhouse.
Yeah.
So not only are you supporting people by being able to learn more and really be able to understand Down syndrome and people with it, but you're also being able to help in providing the programs to Gigi's to help people with Down syndrome, you know, reach their maximum potential and kind of be like these characters in this book.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really cool concept in overall.
I get that it's a fundraiser. For me, it's
secondary.
all about acceptance.
Yeah.
That fundraiser,
so secondary.
It is so secondary because I do feel like the messaging is exactly what we're looking for because it's not what we're getting in the world. It's not what they're getting in their classrooms. In many places, they're not even included in their classrooms. They're down in a separate hallway away from the other kids, and the kids don't realize what they have, the value that they have to add to the world. So I think this will really help. I'm hoping it'll help the schools open up their eyes to include our kids more in the typical classroom because I think that's where they belong. And that's exactly what this story is all about. It's so good. I swear it is so good. I wish I had somebody besides me, but no one else has gotten the book yet to tell you how great it is. Gigi,
there's some quotes on the back.
I love this. So kids are not born to judge people or see others as less than. That is taught by society and a lack of exposure to differences. Exposure breeds acceptance. The more typical kids see kids with disabilities, the less they appear different. God made all of us special in different ways. Gigi's Journey sees past these differences and celebrates the unique gifts each of us bring to this world. That's
was
what I
that?
love about this book. Who wrote that? Do you see who wrote that?
Yep, me.
You? Who, is that you?
Right there.
No, it's not me.
Mommy wrote it. How about this?
Do you want to read one of the quotes on the back?
I think you should.
Finally, a book with the future someone with disability, but isn't about disabilities.
I love that.
Gigi's Journey is filled with fun, mystery, and adventure. While you're very casually telling a valuable lesson, never judge a book by its cover. As a mom, it makes me so hopeful that like my child, Gigi can bring immense love and value to the world. Margot, mom of child with Down syndrome.
Well, Gigi, do you want to talk a little bit about your book and like how you feel about being the main character of a book?
How does it feel to be a character in a book like this that's going to be in all the schools?
What does it mean to you being on the cover of a book, Gigi?
The same outfit that I wore.
Yep, it is the same outfit that you wore when you were in 8th grade. So this is actually, this takes 8th grade Gigi.
Yeah, it's not 21-year-old.
It's not 22-year-old Gigi. It's 8th grade Gigi. That's what the story is about. And that picture of you is from when you were in 8th grade.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And that,
so yeah, what is it? How do you feel about being on the cover?
Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're happy about it? What do you want people to think about this book?
To be Generation G.
What does to be Generation G mean?
Be kind, be accepting, be generous.
Woo! I agree.
To everyone like you, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I know.
I like
love it.
that. Be accepting. Be accepting of everybody.
Mm.
And also, I just love the messaging by every single part of this. So the first book in Gigi's journey introduces a group of curious children who stumble upon the hidden entrance to a magical realm. Gigi's Playhouse has moved into Sleepy Hollow. Harry Moon accidentally opens a magic portal and an 8-foot tall beast shows up looking like a half llama and half Clydesdale horse. In the face of danger, GiGi shows magical acceptance and kindness to the beast. The town needs her, along with Harry and his deep magic. The mayor's evil plans against Gigi's Playhouse, what? The mayor had an evil plan against Gigi's Playhouse, are in jeopardy as 13-year-old Gigi magically tames the beast and wins people's hearts with her singing and deep compassion. However, the mayor isn't giving up easily. He wants to get rid of Gigi's Playhouse. He doesn't like the love and acceptance that's happening everywhere. Who is going to win this epic battle? You're only going to know if you read the book.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And you might want to look on the inside cover. There is somebody named Gigi Gianni on there with her Cubs attire on and her bio. And I'm just so proud of her. I'm so proud of this whole book. She took the time to really talk to the other authors and let them know what it was like to be in school and how things went. And they really used that. And they came to Gigi's Playhouse. They understood about Gigi's Playhouse. And now they're sharing this with the world.
Yep.
And I love
Brought
it.
to life.
Yep.
So make
And
sure-
we still got to look out for that mayor who's trying to shut Gigi's Playhouse down. And there is always people like that aren't going to, that aren't out there for acceptance, that aren't out there to see the good in everybody. And they're jealous of, a little, Gigi's Playhouse, if it gets a little bit too much attention, takes away from his place in Sleepy Hollow. He doesn't want it.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Yep. Interesting. So very exciting.
Yep. If you want to get the book, you can go to, we'll put the link on the screen and also in the bio.
It's
but
so
it would
good.
Be,
Just go
to harrymoon.com and then there'll be the newest release. So you'll see Gigi's Playhouse on there.
Yep.
And you could be able to get your book.
Yeah.
And then also if you are a part of any Gigi's Playhouses across our network, they are also sharing the link to their page as well. So you could be able to buy the book directly from them.
Yeah.
And this girl in the book is dating.
Oh, this girl in the book is dating?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Who is she dating?
My boyfriend Lucas.
Oh, okay. So not the girl in the book because she's eighth
So
grade
Lucas is
Gigi.
two-timing you? Is that what's happening here? I got to beat him up.
No.
So 22-year-old Gigi is
Yes.
dating. So of course that has to fit into every time we talk about Gigi. So yeah, not in the book. Eighth grade
No.
Gigi is not dating, but 22-year-old Gigi is dating. And anything else you want to say about that?
No.
I just want to make sure that you get it in there that you're
Plug
dating.
Lucas.
Yes.
There you go.
You want Lucas's name.
His
in
name
every-
is on the thing, though.
his name
Yes.
is in here.
Yes.
Where's his name?
Right there.
Where?
And of course, her boyfriend Lucas.
What? Where is that? Oh, loves fitness, dancing, fun, and of course her boyfriend Lucas.
Yes.
Oh, for crying out loud, there it is. Yeah, I really encourage anybody. Again, I know this is for the schools, and I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for another book to come out, and you'll know what I mean once you start reading it because you're going to love it. At any age, I don't care. I don't care what age you are. You're going to love it. I know it's for elementary age school kids, but the messaging, the story, the mystery of all of it is and the inspiration of it all is honestly for any age. I'm grateful that it's going to be in the schools because I think that that's where we can start making change. That's, really changing the way the next generation sees individuals with Down syndrome and accepts individuals with Down syndrome. So I'm happy that it's in the schools, but I truly believe it is for any age, any family, anybody will get something out of reading this book.
Absolutely. Get
That's
your book
it.
today.
Get your book today.
And
Harry Moon. Hold it up, G. Hold it
that's
up.
us.
Whoop, whoop. Everybody is born with a little something extra, and sometimes they just have to find it. A little something extra is that superpower that every single one of us has inside that motivates us and drives our passion and makes us do the things that we do.
We're all on the same team. Let's think about how we can make that team as inclusive as we can.
For those of you listening to our podcast right now, you can also check out our video podcast at alittlesomethingextrapodcast.org.